Tonight, an exclusive interview with Father Stephen Elser. All this and more on Unity News.
Good evening. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our second Unity News broadcast. I'm Danny Ellis.
And I'm Angie Capps.
We're glad you joined us tonight. We just wanted to tell everyone that's watching we are just totally overwhelmed with the response we're getting to our new Unity News. And we appreciate all the parishioners that are praying for us and that are watching us and giving us opinions about how to make Unity News even better. So with that being said, let's go to the news. The St. Paul Sabres won third place at the Battle of the Books in Little Rock, and they also won the Spirit Award. BOB coordinator Tiffany Balt said this year there were 12 teams from Catholic schools in Arkansas at the competition. The judges asked 70 questions this year. The top team answered 66 of 70 correctly. Second place answered 64 of 70. And our very own St. Paul Sabres team answered 63 out of 70 questions correctly to take third place in the state. Our Battle of the Books competition team consisted of Adrian Mahan, Madeline Thrush, Ellie Eddington, Will Nietzsche, Leighton Robinson, and Katrina Thrush. If you would like more information about the Battle of the Books, contact Tiffany Balls or go to our Unity page on Facebook for more information. Angie, the youth in this parish are on fire.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We are so proud of our youth. We actually just done an interview with 3 of our YACers, which is our Youth Advisory Council group, and that will be next.
Great. I heard that was a good interview. We'll have the interview coming up right after this message.
It is here where you'll find the best marriage counselor, greatest healer, wisest teacher, and closest friend. It's a place where you'll escape the chaos of the world and find the lasting peace that only comes from God. Jesus is personally waiting to embrace you now with his divine mercy and healing love. Jesus is calling you home to his sacred heart today.
I need your mercy. I need a Savior.
Welcome back. We're with the St. Paul's YAC team, and Dwayne Capps is going to be taking my spot right here.
Hey guys, I'm Angie Capps, and tonight I would like to introduce you to our 3 YACers. Haley, can you tell us what YAC is?
YAC stands for the Youth Advisory Council of the Diocese of Little Rock, and we're a group of teens around the state, juniors and seniors, that lead all the youth events.
Good, good. Lawson, can you tell us a little about YAC?
Hi, I'm Lawson James, and YAC is a great place to get to know friends and, lifelong friend trips, and we go down there and we have these, we put on these conventions for kids to go to, and we kind of lead them, and we come up with all the stuff on them, skits, prayers, and behind the scenes is what we call multimedia.
Jace, can you tell us what y'all actually do, how often you go down to Little Rock, and what all it takes to be a YACer?
In YAC, we go down to Little Rock once a month, just the drive and everything. We plan the whole thing. We have to do the skits, we have to plan the prayers, everything. We have to practice them. It's quite a bit of work.
Quite a bit of work. There are how many other YACers?
22.
22. And coming this fall,
we're going to have 2 additional YACers from St. Paul Parish, Josie Nichols and Braden Tilley.
Haley, can you tell us what your favorite event being on YAC is?
My favorite event so far was state convention. We had it back at the beginning of April, and us and 250 other youth went down to the DoubleTree in Little Rock, and we had a Friday night through Sunday morning retreat/convention, and we all,
Had a big time.
yes, we
Had a
great
big time. Lawson, can you tell us what's your favorite event?
Mine would also have to be state convention. Like Haley said, it's the first real big one we've had since COVID shut us down for a little bit, you know. And what all state conventions is, it's a couple days that we stay at the DoubleTree, and like Haley said, there's 250 kids, and we had confessions and adoration, and it was just a beautiful time. There's so much more.
Jace, can you tell us what's your favorite event?
My favorite event. My favorite event was also state convention. It's just great because you get to stay there over the night. You get to spend time with youth from all around Little Rock, and you all have similar viewpoints over Christ. It's really great.
Let me explain a little bit about probably why this is their best event of this year. This is actually the first year that they have got to actually go and be and join together because of COVID. So last year they were on YAC, but we didn't get to do anything. Our seniors that are leaving this year, this was a whole new, it's a whole new, what am I trying to say? Whole new world out there for them because they had no idea.
Not only do we do the state convention at the end of the year, these guys prepare for several other interactions with youth from around the state, and the first one would be the senior high spectacular in the fall.
Yep.
Would one of y'all like to tell a little bit about what that involves? And
It's for senior high kids. I think it's 9th through 12th grade, and they come, and you know, some of those kids, they get there and they don't want to really participate. And, you know, you kind of got to get them hyped up, and it's your first event for us, so we're kind of nervous too. So it's just kind of a nerve-wracking. We get it all, everybody gets it out, and we all have a good time at the end of it, though.
so that falls in October in the fall. Then we roll right into November, back into another one-day event, which would be the junior high spectacular.
The junior high spectacular is a one-day event like the senior high one. It's at Mount St. Mary's in Little Rock, and it's on a Sunday, and it's one of the only events we really do at junior high, so it's like the main one for them. And they're at their awkward age, so they don't really want to participate, but by the end of it, they all really do, and it's a great thing to see them participating.
Good job, Haley. Good job, Wilson.
Thank you.
Jace, what can you tell us about some more that y'all have to do?
We also have another event, Weekend for Life. It's another weekend event just like state convention. This year we didn't get to do it. It was COVID. Yeah, COVID was spiking and we had to cancel it. But it's focused on the life part of the church that we believe in, abortion, the death penalty, and suicide, and euthanasia.
Yeah.
It's focused around that. We have people come in, talkers, or speakers, I should say, that come in and they tell us about experiences they've had with abortion, like their life events and stuff.
They also do a confirmation retreat for the ones that are coming up to be confirmed. Who wants to tell us about confirmation retreat?
Confirmation retreat is a bunch of 9th, 10th grade kids that come in there, and it's required to get confirmed. So most of those kids, you know, that come to the other events, they have a say in whether they want to come or not. But this one, they really don't, and they just, man, they're hard to get to go. But we just sit there and teach them about, you know, what it's like to be confirmation. We do a lot of stuff with them.
So we're really blessed here at our parishes of St. Paul and St. John's and St. Joseph's because we're able to physically have our own confirmation retreat on site here, and of course some of our adults lead that here locally. But for those parishes that don't have the resources or the manpower, the diocese offers that there in Little Rock, and it's a one-day retreat, and like they said, most of them are there because they have to be. And so it really puts our yackers, they really have to put their game face on and just bring the light of Christ to these kids that may have not been involved in that in the past.
I would also like to apologize. We're kind of underdressed tonight. We've been over at the gym playing dodgeball and wiffle ball, so we're a little sweaty and stinky, but it's okay. We're all good. We're all good. And that's a wrap.
It is here where you'll find the best marriage counselor, greatest healer, wisest teacher, and closest friend. It's a place where you'll escape the chaos of the world and find the lasting peace that only comes from God. Jesus is personally waiting to embrace you now with his divine mercy and healing love. Jesus is calling you home to his sacred heart today.
I need your mercy. I need a Savior.
Welcome back. As promised, our interview with Father Elser. Father, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me again.
You're back again.
I'm
You're
back again. That's right, back again.
We did a few minutes ago, we did our segment with the youth, and our youth are on fire.
They are. I mean,
It's wonderful.
People say that the youth are the future of the church, but they're really the present of the church. They're the here and now.
They're here. They are definitely making their
And
presence known.
That's right.
Yeah, they are. We thought about maybe even doing some of the youth coming on and doing Unity News for one episode, including the questions for you. Would you like to do that sometime?
That would be great.
I think it'd be.
I think it'd be a good thing.
I would definitely tune in for that.
Sure.
Tune in for that. Father, we had a lot of questions coming in. At the bottom of the screen, you will see the Unity News email. Send your questions to at the bottom of the screen. You'll see that email going across the bottom, and have your questions ready to go for Father on our next episode. So we'll get started with the questions, Father.
Sounds great.
As the Life Center is done, a lot of people are asking, are there any rental prices that have been determined on how much to rent the facility?
Yeah. So first of all, I want to thank our pastoral and finance councils, two groups that really helped me in running the parishes. And they're the ones that kind of helped me come up with a rental agreement and policies and things like that. So, and that's been finalized. So we do have policies and a rental contract all in place. And that, if you're interested in renting the facility, that's something you can do over at the church office now. And we are limiting it at this point to just parishioners. So it'll be available for parishioners to use. Now, as far as price goes, I'm, again, grateful to our finance council that helped me determine prices, especially considering other venues in the area, as well as just making sure we maintain the facility and everything. So we settled on kind of the following list of prices. So renting the facility for a full weekend will be $1,200 with a $450 refundable deposit for cleaning, as well as a $100 optional deposit for alcohol. So, and those, those two things, again, refundable deposits. So really just the base price is that $1,200. And if you divide that, of course, that's for a full weekend, 3 days. Of course, dividing that by 3, you get $400 for a day use. So, and that's renting the entire facility, would be $400 a day. With a $150 refundable cleaning deposit, and then again, if you want alcohol, then that's a $100 deposit as well. And then we also kind of realize that there are some groups out there that may not want to rent the whole thing. Of course, this building, I think we say it seats about 400, but there may be some that may just want to use this smaller space, which is the room we're in right now, for something a bit smaller. And for that, we're going to charge $100 for using this room for a day, with a $50 refundable cleaning deposit. And again, if you want alcohol, that'll be kind of the standard $100 refundable alcohol deposit. So those are the prices that we're going with. And we're all kind of new to this, so I'm happy to kind of make adjustments as we go along. But that's kind of our base prices
Right.
kind of moving forward. So.
Right. Who do they call to rent the facility?
So that would be Jennifer over in the office, Jennifer Nichols, and she would get the process started, kind of getting the rental agreement and everything, and all the policies and whatnot.
You know, Father, the COVID restrictions have, for the most part, been lifted. There is one COVID restriction that was, is put in during the COVID epidemic, and that was the precious blood in the cup.
Right.
When is that returning?
So I'm happy to say that the precious blood is returning to masses on the weekend of Corpus Christi, which is, I think that's June 18th. I think that's the Sunday, June 17th, the Saturday. So that weekend is when we'll have the resumption of the precious blood being distributed at masses. And, alongside that, we'll, in preparing for bringing back the precious blood to our weekend masses, we'll have to do a Eucharistic minister kind of retraining since, it's been 2 years since we've done that. So that's a long time to be able to forget the policies or forget the procedures and everything. So going up to that day, we will schedule a retraining for all of our Eucharistic ministers to kind of refresh on what to do for the precious blood. But happy to say that that's coming back about the middle of June. So,
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah.
That is fantastic. You know, Father, there's a lot of things that go on, whether you're here or not. What is the procedure if you're out of town and someone needs a priest or even the last rites? What is the procedure?
Good question. So at this point, trying to get in contact either with Jennifer, our secretary, or I know some parishioners do have my personal cell number, trying to get in contact with us so that we can reach out to the other priests in the area to see if we can get a priest who's available to do last rites. And I say at this point because I just had a meeting with Ritter Communications, I think out of Jonesboro, and we're working on getting a sort of emergency line set up. So someone calling the office and it being after hours or on the weekend, having a voicemail saying, welcome to this is St. Paul, the Apostle Catholic Church. If this is an emergency and you're in need of a priest, press 1. So we're working on getting that set up so that way both myself and Jennifer, our secretary, if there is an emergency, we would be notified, and you could go through the office to be able to do that. So that's in the works right now, and hopefully that'll be in place before I take any other time off. But anyway, so that's kind of the procedure. Myself or Jennifer would be notified, and then we would try and get in contact with either Blessed Sacrament or St. Mary's in Paragould or even the hospital in Jonesboro where Father Benny is to see if we could get a priest to come for last rites. Of course, sometimes it happens where there's no priest available. And so I recently had a training with our Eucharistic ministers who go visit the sick in the nursing homes. And I've told them that, of course, they can't do the last rites. Only a priest can do the last rites. But at the very least, they could bring the Eucharist to them like they do for our sick who are in the nursing homes or even in the hospital, the rehab or whatnot. So they have been kind of trained or at least told that they could bring the Eucharist and at the very least pray with the family as well.
Well, that is a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
That is a great idea. Someone's really been thinking about things to kind of solve that issue.
Right. We've been working on that one. So.
Right. Father, the parish survey is complete.
Yes.
A lot of participation in that. I saw the survey.
Sure.
And was there a lot of response for the growing ministries in the church that are needing volunteers?
So we did have a lot of response to the survey. Unfortunately, a lot of the responses were from parishioners who are already involved in ministries, kind of either telling us that they're wanting to continue that ministry, or if they've already involved in a ministry, saying they would do more. There were a few responses, just a handful of new people who aren't involved in any ministry and are kind of interested in getting something started. So I just had a meeting with our pastoral council talking about the results of this survey. And so some of the takeaways that we got from this volunteer survey, number one, of course, is communication. That's what we're doing here. But, you know, trying to communicate better what our volunteer ministries are, you know, and what they do, and just trying to be better at communicating in general when it comes to the ministries here in the church. And then the second thing that came out of our meeting this past week involved sort of like a job fair. We're thinking of doing a volunteer fair so that, you know, we can have the opportunity not just to do this survey or to, you know, to reach people in that way, but to actually have the people who are in charge of our ministries set up a table here in our Parish Life Center and kind of explain what their ministry is here in our parish. So we're planning to do this a little bit later. Summertime's not a great time to do something like that. A lot of people out of town, vacationing and everything. So we're aiming for maybe August or September to do a kind of volunteer fair, and maybe to do alongside a potluck or some kind of meal to go along with it, and then have the opportunity just for people to see what all we offer here at St. Paul's, and give people an opportunity, especially those who aren't involved in the parish, to give them an opportunity to serve in whatever ministries we have or whatever they feel called to do.
Right. That is a great idea, and I think there'll be a lot of people participating.
I hope so. Yeah, I think so too.
That'd be great. That'd be great. There's a lot of folks talking about a possible Corpus Christi parade.
Yes.
Can you shed some light on that?
You know, Corpus Christi is Latin for Body of Christ, and we have Corpus Christi every year, 2 Sundays after Pentecost. So the first Sunday after Pentecost is Trinity Sunday, and the second Sunday after Pentecost is Corpus Christi. And so it's very much encouraged by the church for Corpus Christi to do some kind of procession. And so, you know, it's kind of been on my mind to do some kind of Corpus Christi procession. I'll say in my previous parish back in Fort Smith, they did a Corpus Christi procession all throughout Fort Smith. I got to participate in it just once, and it was very powerful. Now they did 4 miles walking all around town, and we're not going to do that, at least not right off the bat. But we're going to try and do something similar. Pauletta Walker and Joan Gross both have approached me and said that they would kind of spearhead organizing it, and they've already had plans kind of drawn up for where we would go and kind of what we would do. So I'm very grateful to them for kind of getting the ball rolling on our Corpus Christi procession. So right now we're thinking of doing it the afternoon of Corpus Christi at 2 o'clock, or 1 or 2 o'clock, something like that. And that would allow both St. Paul parishioners and St. John parishioners to be involved with the Corpus Christi procession. Normally you do that right after Mass, but we do want to give opportunity for all of our parishes to participate in something like this. And so it would involve, myself, of course, holding the monstrance with the Eucharist, our Knights of Columbus carrying the canopy outside to different spots we'll have set up. We're planning to make a stop over at the grotto, I think maybe either at the school or at our cemetery, making a stop here at the Parish Life Center, and then eventually making our way back to the church. Just a small procession to bring the Eucharist out into the community, and have the Eucharist kind of bless our area. In future years, I hope to be able to expand that. Maybe a baby step there would be to make it out to the square so that the Eucharist is able to bless that kind of central part of our town.
Our community.
And who knows, maybe even going beyond that in years to come. So it's, kind of a little bit in the idea phase. Pauletta and Joan have worked a bit to get it a little more concrete. So we hope to have that all ready by the time Corpus Christi comes in the middle of June.
What a powerful witness.
It'll be a powerful witness.
That is great. That is fantastic.
So, yeah.
Father, thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you.
As
Thanks
always,
thanks
appreciate
having
you.
me. Yeah.
We may have to get the youth on to do a couple interviews with you.
Yeah, that'd be great. I love that.
I can't promise you what kind of questions they
Oh,
may
right.
ask.
Yeah.
It ought to be a pretty good episode.
It'll be. Yes, it will be. So,
Thanks again, Father.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to the studio. Well, that was a great interview from Father. That really was. He does such a good job when he comes on and visits with us on Unity News.
We are so blessed to have him.
Well, we just wrapped up our second Unity News broadcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Join us again at our June. We'll announce this on Facebook, but we'll be having an episode in June, and we'll let you know when that is. Until then, I'm Danny Ellis.
And I'm Angie Capps.
So long from Unity News. Take care. Good night.